In this video, we're going to take a look at how to simplify rational expressions. This is looking at our 6.1 notes. And the main thing to remember in simplifying rational expressions is that you want to cancel factors, not terms. Okay? And we always say, save the kittens. So the difference is if we take a look at an expression like x plus 5, put it over another expression, x plus 10. What I can say is that each of these, the numerator and the denominator is a factor. So I can only cancel an entire expression, which is a factor, not terms. So what a lot of students like to do is cross off those x's. That is a huge no-no. I have now completely altered this entire problem. Because then what I'm left with is 5 over 10, which is half. And this fraction does not equal 1/2. For example, if, let's say, x equals 1, and I plugged in 1 for x, so plugging in 1 for x here, and plugging in 1 for x here, we end up with 6 over 11, and that is not 1/2. Okay, so you cannot cancel parts of an expression. So anytime there's a plus or minus sign attached to it, do not even think about getting rid of it. If you have something like this, x plus 5 over x plus 10 as a factor, and we have another factor of x plus 5, then this entire expression of x plus 5 would cancel with this entire expression of x plus 5, leaving you with x plus 10 in the denominator, and what's left in the numerator is just 1, because x plus 5 over x plus 5 equals 1. So that would be your answer. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of the problems on our note sheet. So if we look at something like number 1, 20x to the power 4y cubed over 35x cubed times y. So factors are things that you multiply together. In this example, the numerator has 3 factors. I've got 20 times x to the power 4 times y to the power 3. So each one of those 3 I can treat as separate things that can be reduced with other things that would divide with it. So in the denominator, I have 35 times x cubed times y. So similarly, I have 3 factors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up my factors. So I can do 20 over 35, and I can reduce that down. Both can be reduced by 5. So I have 4 over 7. Going on to my x's, I have x to the power 4 over x cubed. Well, x to the power 4 is x times x times x times x to the power 3. So what happens is, goodbye, 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 those 3 sets will cancel, and you're left with a single x. And then x is in the numerator, so it's going to stay in the numerator. Onto your y's now, you have y times y over y. Goodbye. You're left with y squared. And that's your answer. If this were flipped and you would have had y on top and y cubed on the bottom, then you would have had y over y times y. Those y's cancel. You would have y squared then in the bottom with that 7. Okay, let's look at number 2, where we have 2x minus 7 times 3x minus 5 over 3x minus 5 times x plus 14. Now, what you can do here is this is a pretty straightforward problem. You have to have everything factored in order to cancel. So this one is already factored. Those cancel, and you're left with those 2 factors. So on the top you have 2x minus 7, and the bottom is x plus 14. And that's as far as you can take that one. All right, if we look at a problem that is a little bit more complicated, like number 5. Okay, so taking a look at number 5. What you have to do first in number 5 is factor. Okay, your first step in all of these problems is to factor. The first examples that we looked at already were factored. There's nothing to factor. But now what we have to do is factor. So the numerator right here, factors, I can shortcut factor this because my a value is 1. So that factors to be x, the two numbers that multiply to give you 1 times negative 3, that add to give you negative 2 are negative 3 and positive 1. The denominator factors, I can shortcut factor this because a is 1. The two numbers that multiply to give you 6, that add to give you a negative 5. This one is always tricky with the 6 and 5 because the factors of 6 are 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Both of those can be combined to give me 5, so I have to be careful with my signs. I need to multiply to give me a positive 6 and add to give me a negative. So that means that both my numbers are going to have to be negative. So it's going to be the negative 2 and negative 3. Okay, now I have my factors, so what can cancel? I have a factor of x minus 3, that will cancel that factor of x minus 3. I have a factor of x plus 1 left over, and a factor of x minus 2 left over in the bottom, and that is your answer. Do not cancel those x's because they are part of an entire expression.